I loved Plan 9. I mean, I think it's the best operating system out, except that it doesn't have the apps everybody demands. So it'll never make it, ever, ever. And the major reason it didn't have a browser. Without a browser during the era when everyone went to the internet, it's over, right? So, but the operating system is clean, precise, pretty, very capable of doing anything. It's just really it's actually a great operating system. And it was mostly Rob Pike who did it and designed it. And it had some ideas that were just still way beyond the time. One is we wanted multiple machines to connect together, and we wanted them all to run Plan 9 and to communicate as though they were next door or far away or whatever they are. And so it would be an interface on your terminal and your keyboard and your mouse and whatever you had in your house. And Plan 9 would take it and multiplex it and do whatever it wanted, whatever you set up to do with it. There were 3 Plan 9 devices, right? One was the terminal, which was the thing I just described. One was the computer, which was a hierarchy of things in the computer center: fast ones, slow ones, far away ones, and file systems. And the file system, it was all based on a protocol, and the protocol was a multiplex protocol of basically open, close, read, and write.
Mm-hmm.
And one line of the protocol, one multiplex, there was a line and there was a protocol on the line, but there could be multiple protocols on the line. And one protocol on the line simulated what you could think of as a file system.
Okay.
And it would give you a whole hierarchy of file systems. So the line that read the terminal and the mouse would be a file system that had terminal, it had a file called terminal. You read and write bits in there. A file that you call speeds or windows, or something like that, and then a mouse, right? And so if you wanted to do a window system, you see, you would give the entire terminal as one of these interfaces to your terminal to a multiplexer that would make windows out of it and use this one. And so each of these now would be a terminal. And you could run one terminal to one CPU server and one terminal to another CPU terminal. And then the file system was a large multiplexed cached file system, the best you could do. And it was backed by a worm. A worm is a WORM, write once, read many. And it's basically a CD, a writable CD. And you write it, you can't write it again, it's over, right? And so we had a normal Unix-looking file system, but now when you said split and make the hard disk, make the backup, it would create a backup version of the old one. So, and it would keep a directory of all the ones you've ever done. So it was very economical in space, and it overlapped all files that you had created. The read-only part of all the files were on worms, and the writable parts were in disk, which you could back up any time by just saying backup. The way I program, I do massive changes occasionally, and very often I say, damn, that didn't work, and I want to go back. And what I would do before, now, without that kind of file system, and before, without that kind of file system, I would take whatever I'm thinking of modifying, copy it into a temporary set of directories, files, and then work on the current ones. And then if it was bad, I'd copy them all back.
Right.
Which is it's a strange way, because the stuff you do now touches lots of stuff. It's not just a little tiny set that you can just copy.